Can you guys hear me okay? Oh man, what a night that was last night. Anybody else mind? I'm still like, my minds are blown, right? I was talking to people going, what just happened? I saw that guy a couple years ago, and I went up to him and I said, man, I need your card. Someday, I'm going to be able to afford for you to come and hang out with us. And that day was last night. And so it was unbelievable. It was a dream of mine to be able to have someone like that to kick off the conference. So first of all, wow, what an unbelievable honor to be standing here with you guys today. If you think about it, 18 months ago, many of us were wondering, would we even be here? Would our families be around? Would we have friends? Would our businesses make it? We didn't know what the future looked like, but what we did know is that we didn't come this far to come this far. And through our perseverance, you believing in the brand, we knew that where there was turmoil, there would be opportunity. And we didn't know what the future looked like, but what we did know is that we needed to keep our heads up, stay calm, and look for those opportunities. So to be at this conference in a place better than we were entering the pandemic is nothing short of a miracle. So let's give a round of applause for that. I cannot thank you guys enough for your commitment to your brands, your leadership team, and your perseverance. A lot of people quit over the last 18 months. A lot of people packed it up and said, I just can't do this anymore, but not you. You're in this room, you made it, and we are going to do some amazing things together. Before I talk about vision and where we want to go, I want to honor the past. I want us to lay a foundation of where I've come from, where you've come from, because we can never lose sight of our humble beginnings. I was talking with the Little Gym Franchise Advisory Council yesterday, and I wanted them to understand a little bit about this, and so let me unpack it with you. You see, like most of you, my journey started with a dream of a place that I wish I had when I was a kid, a place that was fun, exciting, and that helped kids celebrate, escape, and connect, all the things that were going on in the real world. As most of you in this room, I went to my family and said, I have this crazy idea. And to my surprise, they believed in me. They believed in me when no one else did. No banks, no landlords, nobody. And I came to them, I said, I've got this idea for a trampoline park. And they were like, huh? What is that? Nobody could fathom what a trampoline park would be. And they rolled their eyes and were like, okay, I mean, we can try this thing. And we did. So regardless of the non-believers that were out there, we invested every penny we had in the first trampoline park. And we built it with our bare hands in a little old warehouse that I only got the opportunity to lease because my dad knew the guy. That was it. This guy rolled his eyes and was like, well, I know your dad, so, I guess I'll give you a shot. We spent an entire year building this place, literally with our bare hands, to open in 2011. Man, it's for the urban air people in the room, this is Park 1, and we have come a long, long way. My daughter now takes cheerleading lessons in this old building. And so every Tuesday at 4 o'clock, I get to go in here and I cry. Honestly, I'm like, oh my God. We hired 50 high school kids. This is the class 1 of Urban Air. We hired 50 high school kids. We told them, we don't know what the heck we're doing, but we will figure this out along the way. And boy, was that an understatement. Like many of you in this room, we worked every position: court monitor, party host, janitor, manager, a therapist, all of these positions with these 50 young kids who believed in a purpose, a vision for something cooler than they had ever had before. We spent many nights closing down the park at 1 a.m., raise your hand, Urban Air people, closing down at 1 a.m. after you finish cleaning, only to open up at 7 a.m. because you need the HVAC to cool the place down before the first guest arrive, because we can't afford to run the HVAC all night. Yeah, that's true. And we experienced the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. But all along the way, we learned the business. We spent 2 years intimately learning the business and learning how to lead a team that could provide an exceptional guest experience and love on people. To my family's dismay, I went to them and said, "We are doing so well. Let's do it a couple more times." They rolled their eyes again, and I was like, "Let's go to Frisco and let's go to Mansfield." They were like, "You have got to be kidding me." I remember my wife was like, "Is this not enough? Like, can we just do this? We got a good thing going." And I said, "No, we are onto something." So we opened Frisco and Mansfield 3 months apart. I was talking to Brian McGavick over drinks the other night. He opened 4 parks in like 14 months. That is the formula for a heart attack. I've done it. I have done it. And it was so hard. But what we learned in this journey was that we had to find a way to replicate ourselves because we couldn't be in all 3 places at once. So we got a really swanky garage office in that picture there. And we started creating manuals and procedures and systems and processes. And little did we know that in 2014, all of those things that we did to run those 3 parks would lay the foundation for our franchising division when John Becker, John, you in the room? Stand up, John. John Becker was our first franchisee. And I told John, I said, "John, we've kind of gotten it buttoned up. I mean, we know what we're doing. It's really a lot of tribal knowledge. But Keaton's not here today. We miss Keaton, right? But Keaton and I drove up to Wichita, and we opened that park with our bare hands. And I'll never forget when we were leaving John's park, John and Annie, and I look over, and they're like, "No, don't leave. What have you done?" But we did it. We opened our first franchise location. From there, the trajectory was insane. We were doubling the size of our company every year. So from 2014 to 2016, we were doubling the size of our company. It was insane. However, we saw that there were a lot of copycats out there. And in 2017, we really changed the game when we opened the world's first adventure park in Sugar Land, Texas, 2017. That put us on the trajectory of growth was insane. In 2019, we opened 52 parks in 52 weeks. Unbelievable feat. And 2020 was setting up to be amazing until COVID. Wah, wah. So COVID hit. March of 2017, the scariest day of my life, March 17th. The global pandemic was raging. We were looking at our business, we were looking at the world going, what is going to happen? March 17th, I got with the CEO of Main Event and the CEO of Chuck E. Cheese, and we decided that for the safety of our guests, our consumers, our local communities, we should all shut down together. So on one day, we shut down the entire family entertainment industry. And it was the scariest day of my life. The prior 10 years, hard work, blood, sweat, tears, success, failures, everything that goes with it, we didn't know. We didn't know if we would reopen. We didn't know if we reopened, if people would come back. We didn't know how many people would come back if we could pay rent, right? I mean, we're all in the same boat, right? We were all living those fears. And so to be sitting here today is nothing shorter than a miracle. We said internally, look, we don't know what the future holds. As I mentioned earlier, we didn't come this far to come this far. We have faith that we're going to come out of this, but we're not just going to sit on our hands. We're going to look at our business and we're going to try to tweak it. We're going to listen to our consumers and hear what they tell us about what is it going to take to come back? What do we need from you to earn your trust? So we started looking at the business, retooling it, things around labor, marketing, branding. It was an amazing opportunity in the stillness and the quiet of COVID. But it was also in this moment I realized what we had built. We had built a platform that can scale and support brands. We collectively in this room were doing something that had never been done before. I looked at it and said, how can we take this infrastructure, this recipe for success, and use it to impact the world? At first I thought, well, let's scale other entertainment franchise brands. That seemed logical because of the success that we were having at Urban Air. But that addressable market was not large enough. And then I said, okay, maybe we'll support and scale brands that serve women. Well, that seems like we're trying to be too much to everything. But the franchisees had perfected the formula around mom being the customer and kid being the user. They had taken Urban Air to places I could have never imagined or dreamed. So I was going, how could we impact more moms and more kids? And no offense, dads, I get we're involved, but mom is really our customer. Mom is driving our business. And I'm going, what can we do? How do we leverage this recipe for success? How do we learn from others? And then it hit me as a parent. It was about this same time. I live in Texas. We were coming out from the lockdown, and we started Googling things for my kids to do. It's really hard as a parent to find things to put your kids in. What I noticed was as I was scouring the internet and looking for great brands, it was very unorganized. It was very fragmented. And all of these great brands were left to their own devices to get in front of that mom, to scale, to earn the business and the trust of the consumer. Nobody had taken our industry and organized it into a unified and easy to understand family of brands like you see in automotive and home. You see, when you and I have a problem with our home, we can go to one website, one place called Neighborly, and they have 28 brands they've brought in under the family since, the 1980s, to help you with your home. If you have something that's wrong with your car, you can go to Driven Brands, and they have amazing brands under their portfolio that can help you fix that problem. But nobody has ever focused on a parent's most important asset other than their home and other than their car, their kids. See, these are my kids. And I don't want to wait until my kid has a problem to find a solution. I want to put them on a path to identify their gifts and talents and navigate the roadmap to being a great kid. And this is why Unleashed was created. We will be partnering with parents to simplify the process and path to greatness for their kids. It is our job to guide and support them in connecting the dots on the Candyland board of life. We want to allow every kid in the world to reach their own definition and level of great. Each and every step along this Candyland path will be defined within each brand and Unleash as a whole. We have a purpose, a why, greater than ever before, and the impact we are going to make is unbelievable. It became my new mission. I wanted to get out of bed every day to impact the lives of kids by providing them fun and engaging and inspiring experiences that help them learn, play, and grow. You see, at Unleashed Brands, we believe that kids don't need to wait to be great. They can be great kids today. So I set out on a mission to find the world's best brands and the 3 core pillars and make our journeys collide. And that is why you are here today. I quickly gravitated to brands I had experience with as a parent. My 9-year-old daughter, Landry, went to the Little Gym location. It was in Southlake when we went. It's since moved to Keller. Nick and Stephanie, where are you at? Stand up. I can't. Are they in here? Why are you in the back? That all started with you. Because of Nick and Stephanie and the impact they made on my daughter's life, I was determined to bring Little Gym in under this family. What they were able to do with my wife as a first-time mom and make friends and impact her life was unbelievable, lasting impact. I then, as I went down this rabbit hole of learning about the Little Gym, I learned that in 1976, Robin West opened the first Little Gym location in Seattle, Washington. I've had the honor to talk to Robin a few different times. We wanted him to be here. He had some things that he had to do, but Robin is well. He is still involved in this brand. I'm excited for him to mentor me. I'm excited to continue to carry his heart. Nancy is too, obviously Randy. And so the fact that Little Gym is here because of what Nick and Stephanie did in my family's life, I wanted to thank you. So. I also then learned about Lisa and Laura Coe. They started Snapology in 2010. Their first location was in Pittsburgh. What they were doing was amazing, and you'll hear from them today. I started to work with Laura and Lisa and have my kids testing out what they do, experiencing things outside of just sports. And what I learned was both the Little Gym and Snapology had the same core goal that I had, to impact the lives of kids in a crazy, crazy way, a way that had never been done before. You see, these brands, they're not just successful because they offer great experiences for kids. These brands are successful because they also choose to inspire rather than manipulate the customer to win. You see, manipulation is dropping price, using the fear of missing out, fear of promise of innovation, aspirational messaging. We all want to drive human behavior this way, but it's temporary. It doesn't last. There's no stability here. A great example of this, Urban Air knows, in the trampoline park space, it was a race to the bottom for 10 years. There was price-cutting wars after price-cutting wars until they finally couldn't price cut anymore, and they started going out of business. At Urban Air, we chose to inspire. We chose to impact the lives of kids through celebrating, escaping, and connecting in amazing experiences. And because of that, we didn't have to drop price. We had a premium product. And that's what your brands do too, the Little Gym and Snapology. We don't choose to manipulate. We choose to inspire. At Unleashed Brands, we have a purpose, a cause, a why. I'm saying it again, and you'll probably hear me say it 2 more times. We are here to impact the lives of every kid through fun and engaging experiences and environments that help them learn, play, and grow. Kids don't have to wait to be great. They can be great kids today, and they're going to become great through you. We understand at Unleashed Brands that if we don't have a clear why, it will be impossible for the customer to understand us for anything more than what we do. People do not just buy from our family of brands because we have the greatest classes, attractions, workshops, birthday parties, or camps. People do business with us because we have those things, but most importantly, people want to grab onto our why. Because people buy why we exist, not what we do. And that's why the Little Gym's been around for 45 years. That's why the Urban Air's been around for 10 years. That's why Snapology's been around for 10 years. You're more than just what you do on a daily basis. So what is great? The world's definition of great would tell you great is only a straight A student. No. What we say is great is not just only a straight A student. The most popular kid in school, a select team athlete, getting a college scholarship, or I can't even believe this is on the screen, having the most social media followers. That is great, but great is not only those things. For everyone in this room, we're going to help teach little kids that great is also identifying and developing your gifts and talents, being a great friend, being teachable, loving others who have different looks and views than you, respecting authority with our speech and conduct, always giving your best effort, believing in yourself and that it's okay to make mistakes. You don't have to be perfect, and never giving up. What parent doesn't want that definition for their kid? Our job is to train our kids to leave. And when they leave, we hope they have these core values inside their soul, inside their spirit. But too many times in the world, everyone's focusing on the college scholarship, the select team athlete, all of those things that when it all goes back into the box, it doesn't really matter. And we're here to make a difference. We are going to change the world. We're going to do this because deep down, we all want to inspire ourselves as parents and other parents that this definition of great is obtainable. When we inspire that this is obtainable, we can reach degrees of success that we have never dreamed before. Remember, our goal is not just to do business with anyone who wants a gymnastics class, a birthday party, or a STEAM workshop. Our goal is to find those people who believe what we believe. We believe that kids don't have to be great. I am going to pound it into you this week. We believe that kids will develop into what they are destined to be through learning STEAM, being creative and courageous through play, and growing in their skills and passions. We believe that every kid has a story, and we have the opportunity to interact and impact that story every time they're inside our brands. Let's watch this together. Pretty awesome, right? At Urban Air for the longest time, we always said, imagine every child that comes into the park has a talk bubble above their head. And in that talk bubble is their story. The story about what they went through that week, what happened at school that day. And for 3.5 hours, which is the average length of stay at Urban Air, we have the ability to either add to or take away from that story. Every single brand inside of the Unleashed Brands family has kids with those same talk bubbles above their heads, who are coming into your locations to escape the world, to feel loved, to have their first birthday party. And many times we look at those kids as just a number, as just a party. But we always need to remember and rally around the fact that those kids are important. That's a soul that's going to go into the world that we have the ability to impact. And we're going to continue to do that from this day forward. But we've got to help parents. Parents have to believe that we can help them navigate the journey of parenthood. We're not going to let them do it alone. Neighborly and Driven have been so successful because if you have a problem with your house, you know they are the expert. They are the resource. If you have a problem with your car, you know they are the resource and that you can go to them. We have to let parents know that we are here to partner with them to make the journey of life for their children easier and more successful. When they understand that we will help them with every step of the process, where to start and what is next and where you will end up, we will get the buy-in from parents and be that same key opinion leader as those at Neighborly and Driven Brands. Never before has a company set out on a mission to do what we are about to do. To partner with parents in the development of their kids from birth to adulthood. You in this room, we are pioneers. No experts have mapped it out this way, and the way we are doing it is revolutionary. It started with a little gym, and Urban Air, and Snapology, and we're going to continue to fill out this map until we can take kids from birth, until helping them go to college or trade training and be productive adults. We are innovators. We have brought the world's 3 best brands to launch our journey, and it begins with you. At the Little Gym, children begin their growth as young as 4 months old, with a program focused on the whole child, developing their balance, strength, agility, coordination, and group cooperation skills through imaginative play that promotes teamwork and self-confidence. I've seen it in my own kids. It's unbelievable. At Snapology, we help kids build confidence, social skills, and problem solving through the design, creation, and interaction and invention using science, technology, engineering, and math. And in Urban Air, we help kids celebrate special moments, escape the hardships of the world, and connect with other kids off a screen, socially. There is nothing out there like Unleashed Brands. We are breathing thin air. We are better together and more powerful than we are on our own. As we sit here today, we are over 750 units strong, serving over 20 million kids and generating over $650 million of system-wide revenue. Amazing. Many of you may be thinking, though, great, this seems crazy. How are we going to do it? How are we going to accomplish such big things? Well, a lot of things seemed crazy. Landing on the moon seemed crazy. 10,000 songs in your pocket seemed crazy. Self-driving cars seemed crazy. And most recently, everyday people going to space and staying there for a 3-day camping seemed crazy. So although we are on this journey that is crazy, I can guarantee that we're going to look back in a year from now, and Unleash Brands will be the new normal. We will make this a reality, but we have to prepare. I know I have the most mentally tough people in the world in this room, because if you weren't, you wouldn't be in this room. You would have tapped out a year ago. But as we go on this journey, I want to prepare you to get into a mindset and have a perspective on how to do it. Because the way we think and the way we act can change the trajectory of our lives. So I wanted to give you 5 practical things. 5 practical things. 1, we have to get on a relentless pursuit of perfection to which we will never achieve. You see, it's not perfectionism at all costs, but the refusal to accept mediocrity or make excuses for something not being good enough. If you believe something can be better in your business, put in the work to do it. You are not in the business of making things. You are in the business of making things great. Things exceptional. Great atmospheres. Great experiences for our customers. Great memories for families. Great work environments for our team. And great businesses for us as owners. Remember, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, yet expecting a different result. We're going to have to do some hard things. We have to fall in love with the journey. It can't be about the mountaintop, because when you get to the mountaintop, you just want to find another one to climb. But if you are on a journey, it never ends. And you can take your wins and you can take your losses and you can love them all together. You see, the mentality that problems are just mile markers on our way to our destiny is how we have to think. We have to cross every mile marker to get where we're going, and so don't be surprised when there's problems. Problems are just opportunities for us to improve. Remember, our competition, although we don't really have much, our competition, people will try to copy what we do. Our competition will have to cross these same mile markers too. And if we can cross them faster, stronger, and better on the other side, we will win. In this journey, though, we talked about this yesterday at FAC. In this journey, many times we can overestimate the big moment and underestimate the value of small gains. We have to focus on improving our business by just 1%. Just think 1%. Every area of our business, 1% every day. Did you know that the aggregation of small gains would tell you that if you were to improve your business 1% every day for an entire year, that at the end of that year, you would be 37 times better than you were when you started? It doesn't always have to be a grand slam. Small gains, small wins, small improvements together. This is a very interesting. Where is Brett? Brett, are you in here? Beitler? Oh, there he is. Okay, so Brett and I have a passion for planes, for flying. And so we're always trading pics and always talking about it. This is really interesting. If a pilot wanted to take off in LA, was taking off in LA, and they wanted to land in NYC, and at takeoff at LAX, they shifted their heading just 1 degree, they land in DC. I think we underestimate the power of a small change over a long period of time. We overlook that. This mindset can change where you land and put you in a completely different place than you ever thought you could be. Fascinating. Any Saban fans in the house? Ooh. Uh-oh. Go Cowboys. It was a spanking last night too, wasn't it? Any Philadelphia fans in the house? Sorry about that. I'm a huge fan of winning. And although I went to TCU, you got to respect what Saban's done. And there's a great documentary out there with Saban and Bill Belichick. If you haven't watched it, it's phenomenal. But what they talk about together, Belichick and Saban, is on a team. And in this room, we are on one team. We have to do our jobs, and we have to do our part. We have to get up every day and focus on our business and make our business contribute positively to the whole. We also have to trust that our fellow franchisees in this room are going to do the same. That the home office team and our vendor partners are going to do the same. And then when you roll all of that up, everyone matters, and that is how we win. But we have to expect excellence. Saban would tell you, high achievers don't act like mediocre people, and mediocre people don't act like high achievers. He expects high achievers, and his stats show that it works. Another thing that he says is, did you know that winners and losers have the same goals? It's kind of funny when you think about it. Everybody wants to win, right? But not everybody wants to put in the work. You're sitting in this room because you've won. You're sitting in this room because you've put in the work. But now there's more work to do and more winning to have. What separates winners and losers is their habits and their processes. Saban would tell you the secret to all victory lies in the organization of the non-obvious. He's not talking about the grand slam. He's not talking about the big thing. He's talking about the little things, the 1%, making that block, catching that pass, running that route when you're not getting the ball. That's how we have to win together. We all have to do our part. What am I on? Number 4, don't be afraid to fail. Our philosophy at Urban Air, and we are continuing this through at Unleash, speed and innovation win. Speed and innovation win because they create disruption of the status quo. And those who disrupt the status quo win. The most dangerous words ever said are, "We've always done it that way." You see, some people shy away from the big swings because they assess the odds and they build a case against what they want to do before they ever take the first swing. We have to be constantly failing. That seems odd, right? To say we have to be constantly failing. But what I mean by that is we have to be constantly testing every area of our business. A/B testing. And when you A/B test, naturally there's a winner and a loser. And that's okay. If we are not failing, we are not pushing the boundaries enough. We're never going to bet the farm on any one idea, but we have to continually move our businesses forward. The most dangerous words ever said is, "Well, we've always done it that way, so let's just keep doing it." The world changes fast. What we've done 10 years ago at Urban Air, 10 years at Snapology, 45 years at the Little Gym may not be what we can do in the future, and that's okay. If you haven't read this book, I refer it to everyone. Bob Iger stepped in as the CEO of Disney with big plans. He wanted to acquire Lucasfilms, Marvel, and Pixar. Everyone around said, "There's no way you'll do those things." And what he said was, I love his quote, "Long shots aren't usually as long as they seem." At Disney, employees believe in their own power and in their ability of their organizations to make things happen. That with enough energy and thoughtfulness and commitment, the boldest ideas can be executed. We've got to think big. There's so much we can do together. We are so much more powerful together. And I'm so excited about what we can do. And finally, don't quit. Never give up. To make the kind of impact on kids' lives that we want to make, we're going to have to do some crazy things. We're going to have to do some hard things. But remember, the most powerful outcomes are delayed. Our habits and our processes, they have to cross the plateau of latent potential before we see results. A block of ice will melt at 32.1 degrees, but it's not that 1/10 of a degree that made it melt, yet the warming process before it. A stone cutter may split a stone on the 101st swing, but it was not that 101st swing that split the stone, yet all the swings that went before it. We can't quit before the melting process is finished. We cannot quit before your 101st swing. Greatness for everyone in this room is just on the other side. Will it be easy? No. Will we be misunderstood? Yes. Will we be called crazy? Absolutely, it's already happened. Will we feel like square pegs and a round hole? Welcome to my life. But every time you feel that way, I want you to remember that the founders of each of our brands in this room, early on, were considered crazy. But they didn't quit. And it was through their journeys that they challenged the status quo, and they impacted the lives of you and millions of people across the world.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
So we've had humble beginnings. We've survived a pandemic. We've come together as one and have more momentum than ever. So my ask of you from this day forward is to embrace this crazy journey, to implement these 5 mental keys to success, because those who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who actually do. Thank you.